A young woman is talking to her mother on the phone and says, "Mom, I got fired from my job." Just then, the owner of the company walks by and overhears everything she is saying. Then her mother says, "Why? It was so hard for you to get that job. Why did they fire you?" The young woman sadly replies, "Mom, I always worked very hard." The company owner is standing behind her, listening to every word. Then she says, "I worked as a janitor during the day, and at night I wrote business proposals for those people." Then she says to her mother, "A few days ago, they broke my leg and said that I was no longer able to work, so they fired me." Then she says, "Mom, my leg is broken and I don't have a single dollar. I want to come home. Can you come and pick me up?" Then her mother says, "Oh, my poor daughter, your dad's condition has gotten worse again these past few days, so I can't come and get you." As soon as the young woman hears that, she quickly stands up from where she is sitting and says to her mother, "Dad's condition has gotten worse again?" Just then, the owner speaks to her from behind and says, "That's enough. Hang up the phone." The young woman immediately ends the call. Then the owner says to her, "I have a few questions for you. I want honest answers." Then he opens a file and says to her, "Alex, from the United Kingdom, a British citizen, 30 years old, a graduate of the design department at Queen Mary University. Is this you?" Then the young woman says, "Yes, that's me. What's going on, Mr. Max?" Then the owner says to her, "What's going on? I've been looking for you." Then he says to his secretary, "Bring her to my office." The secretary carefully carries her on his back and walks toward the office with her. After they arrive at the office, the owner says to him, "Set her down." The secretary gently sets her down, and then the owner says to him, "Go bring Alexander and his cousin." The secretary replies, "Okay." Then he leaves. After the secretary leaves, the owner says to the young woman, "Please, have a seat." The young woman sits down in the chair in front of the owner. Then she says to him, "Mr. Max, what's going on?" Then the owner says to her, "I'm angry because you've been treated so unfairly, and you never stood up for your own rights." Then the young woman asks him, "What do you mean?" Then the owner says, "What do I mean? Are you still pretending you don't know? Weren't you the one who wrote every single proposal for this company, both big and small?" Just then, the company's manager walks in and says to the owner, "Mr. Max, did you want to see me?" Then he looks at the young woman and says, "Get up, don't sit here." Then the owner says to the young woman, "You stay seated." Then the owner says to the manager, "Alexander, can't you see that her leg is injured? Both of you, stand over there." Then the manager says to the owner, "Mr. Max, what's going on? Why are you so angry?" Then the owner says to him, "Alexander, I heard that you have a very talented cousin and that she is the one who creates all of the company's proposals. But what an interesting coincidence. The janitor here is also named Alex. Now tell me, what's the real truth?" Then the manager says to the owner, "Mr. Max, our country is very large. With such a huge population, it's completely normal for two people to have the same name." Then his cousin says, "Exactly, Mr. Max. I grew up in the city and I'm highly educated. I'm nothing like this girl from the countryside." Then the owner says to her, "So you're saying that you created every proposal? Then the proposal that became a huge success recently, did you create that one too?" The company has decided that the true author of that proposal will receive a $100,000 bonus. Then the young woman happily says to the owner, "Mr. Max, then please tell the finance department to transfer the money into my account right away." Then the owner angrily says to the manager, "Alexander, did you hear that? As the supervisor, you kept making decisions however you wanted. You had your unqualified cousin take credit for other people's work, and you assigned the truly talented Alex to security and janitorial duties." Then the manager says to the owner, "My cousin grew up in the city. It's only right for her to hold a senior position, and Alex came here from the countryside. Getting a janitor's job was already more than enough for someone like her." Then the owner angrily says to him, "Be quiet! Who says that people from the countryside are only fit to be janitors? You sat in a high position for only a few days, and you've already forgotten where you came from?" Then the owner says to him, "Take a good look at Alex. She spent years studying and working hard, all so she could get a good job and support her family. Instead, she ended up crossing paths with heartless people like you. After everything the two of you have done, don't you have even the slightest bit of humanity? In my eyes, Alex is hardworking, honest, and kind-hearted, and she is 1,000 times better than the two of you. Let me make this perfectly clear. People like you have no place in my company. Both of you are fired." Then the manager says to the owner, "Max, I've worked with you for so many years, and now you're firing both of us because of a girl from the countryside? No one is going to stand by your side." Then the cousin says, "That's right, no one is going to support you." Then the owner says to both of them, "The two of you don't get to make that decision. Justice always prevails in the end, and the truth will always live in people's hearts." Then he turns to the audience and says, "Everyone, today I'm firing these two heartless supervisors for the sake of Alex, who came from the countryside. What do all of you think? Did I make the right decision?"